The use of marijuana is very controversial in today's society. It is currently legal in 29 states as well as Washington, D.C. From a federal government perspective, it is illegal. A large number of Americans actually do support the legalization of this drug, a percentage over 50. In this diagram, we can see what states allow the recreational use, medical use, the use of CBD oils, and where they don't allow any of that. Marijuana can be used for more than just the high. Medical marijuana takes advantage of the chemicals in the plant to help treat diseases or conditions. Some examples of conditions this plant can be helpful in are Alzheimer's, Crohn's disease, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and seizures, just to name a few.
Need to visit a state-certified or trained medical professional. They can't prescribe a product or dosage, but can provide formal approval for medical use.
The physician has to do history in the physical, just like a regular doctor visit, and make sure that they have a condition that will qualify them for their card.
Typically, a patient would then need to apply to their state registry, which would issue a card that allows them to purchase marijuana at a dispensary.
Marijuana has been banned in America for quite a while. The use of this drug was banned in 1937 through the Marijuana Tax Act. The support of this drug in society has changed. It has become much more widely supported in recent years. As we can see in the chart that I will present on the next slide from Megan Brennan from this past November, the support of marijuana has increased dramatically from the 1970s. Back then, we can see that around 12% of Americans were on board with legalization of this drug. Now, in 2020, it has increased to 68%. Over half of our country is now on board with legalization. This is important because there are not a lot of things in our political world that there's more support one way. It seems like a lot of our views are quite 50-50, but this we can see is pretty well supported overall. As we can see from this chart, the support of legalizing marijuana in the United States has increased dramatically over just the past 2 decades. Personally, I also support the legalization of marijuana, especially medically, because if we can use something like that to help people who have medical issues, then I say we should do that. When digging farther into the reason as to why marijuana was banned in the first place, I found a study done by Michael Bostwick. He found that the United States government banned the use of this drug without even supporting it with scientific evidence. It is shocking that this ban is still in effect when there are multiple pieces of evidence showing us that cannabis can have a positive effect on medical issues. I have mentioned a few medical conditions earlier, but a big use of cannabis is for chronic pain. Some examples of chronic pain include neuropathy, spinal cord injuries, HIV, cancer and the chemotherapy associated with that, muscle and joint aches, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. A study by Sari Harar found that cannabis reduced the pain associated with chronic conditions by 40%. This is huge for patients who have dealt with this pain for a very long time and have tried so many different options to relieve it. You can see many different conditions that this can be used to treat on this screen. Cannabis has benefits for so many different illnesses that are very common. Legalizing marijuana could have many economic implications. One that popped into my head almost immediately was that it would decrease the number of drug-related arrests. We see all the time on the news that someone has been arrested for the use of marijuana. This pie chart shows how many drug arrests were made in 2008 and the percentage of each kind. As we can see, marijuana possessions made up a very large portion of those arrests. If this drug is legalized, we could decrease the costs in criminal justice terms for prosecutions, judicial hearings, and police resources that all go along with making arrests and charges against people with marijuana. Some more economic implications are that legalizations would increase government revenue and also create new expenditures within the United States. In my opinion, the benefits for health and costs make the legalization of this drug a smart decision for America. Although many people support legalization, many do not as well. Some social or moral implications of legalizing this drug is that it can cause an alteration in cognition. It can become addicting, and over long-term use, it can cause lung destruction. I think this drug could be extremely useful to people, but like all drugs, we need a lot of education and patient teachings. All drugs have risks, but the benefits are worth looking at as well.